Updated November 10, 2017. 141,603 Science writer and broadcaster Dr. Karl is one thousands of migrants who called the Bonagilla Migrant Reception and Training Centre the first Aussie home. This month marks 70 years since the largest and longest operating migrant centre in Australia opened. The site, near Albury Wodonga on the NSW Victorian border, operated between 1947 and 1971. In that time, more than 320,000 migrants from over 30 countries were processed there. The site, originally an army camp, was transformed into a migrant processing centre shortly after World War II. At the time, the Australian government actively sought immigrants from mostly non-English European countries to help increase the nation's population, defence, and economy. On arrival to Bonagilla, migrants were provided short-term accommodation and the government would help them find work. The assistance was welcomed, but many recall that arriving at Bonagilla was a lonely and confusing time. It was a culture shock, with many things different, including the environment, food, and language. Dr. Karl's personal story. Now based in Sydney, Dr. Karl was about 2 years old when he and his parents arrived from Sweden in the early 1950s. His mum Rena and dad Ludwig, both Holocaust survivors, were challenged by the new environment. "Apparently, we just got taken off the boat and shoved onto a train and ended up here, and then we just got told what to do," Dr. Karl said. He said they were housed in a small room that would fit beds and little else. "The weird thing was, my father, for back then, was incredibly highly educated. He had a master's degree, which was very rare," Dr. Karl said. "For many years here, they took no account of any knowledge, education, training, or specific skills that you might have, so he started work as a labourer. It was a bit of a waste, but at least no one was shooting at them, so that was good." Dr. Karl said his family, like many other migrant families, experienced food shock. "You are coming from a bunch of countries in Europe that have got thousands of years of accumulated history in, for example, sliced meats," he said. "So, hundreds of different types, and when they came to Australia, it was Devon and that was it. Strange to be back." Dr. Karl, who had visited the site with his mum in the 1980s, said it was a strange feeling to be back in 2017. "I came back with my mother after my father had died and she got very emotional. I couldn't remember anything, but I was reliving it through her," he said. He described his recent visit as strangely evocative. "There is this infantile amnesia that many people have because they can't remember anything under the age of 6, he said. There is something nibbling away, but I don't know if it's because I want it to nibble away or whether it's really there, but it is definitely slightly disquieting." The Krushenitskis lived at Bonagilla for a couple of years before settling in Wollongong. Block 19 of the site has now been heritage listed by the Commonwealth Government in recognition of its significance in shaping today's multicultural Australia. Topics: community and society, immigration, refugees, federal government, history, education. Bonagilla 3691, Sweden. Wodonga 3690, Albury 2640, Wollongong 2500, Sydney 2000. First posted November 10, 2017. 141,050.